Hey you guys, I'm Scarlett, and in this video we're going to be going over 5 specific ways that you can be prepared for the Dave Ramsey's cash envelope system. Now, if you haven't already, down in the description below you'll find one of my most popular videos which goes over Dave Ramsey's cash envelope system so that you get a better understanding of how to do it. But because you're here on this video, I'm assuming you already kind of know how the cash envelope system works and you're wanting to know really what you can do to be prepared and to really have success. But real quick, I'm Scarlett and I help everyday women with money, budgeting, and investing problems. It's like sitting down with your nerdy friend over a cup of coffee. Let's go ahead and dive into the 5 different ways that you can have ultimate success with Dave Ramsey's cash envelope system. Now, the first one you might find kind of interesting because it is that you must be prepared for failure. Now, I say this because the cash envelope system is an entirely different way to spend your money, right? We're also used to just pulling out our card. Definitely, a lot of us aren't used to fishing through and finding exact change as well. Now, why would I say that you should be prepared for failure? Well, here's the deal. For any new habit, it does take around 3 months for you to really get into a new habit. It can be really tempting to go to the grocery store and to just swipe your card compared to sitting there and fishing out dollars and change, essentially. Not just that, but there are a lot of stores who actually aren't even accepting change anymore. And so it can be even more of a challenge to try to find exact dollar amounts. It is important that you set yourself up knowing that it will be difficult, but also knowing that it is completely possible. The second tip is to start practicing with cash as soon as possible. So you may not have your budget ready, okay? You may honestly be someone who just is researching the cash envelope system right now. What I really encourage and what I have found that was successful for me was to start using cash as soon as possible. So the next time you go get gas, use cash, and that can be hard, right? You wanna just swipe your card and move on, but the fact you have to go into the store, pay, come back out, like that can be burdensome. But even from there, next time you go out to eat, try using cash. The whole point of using cash is to kind of associate this negative emotion with spending so that when you want to overcome your spontaneous spending or when you're trying to really stick to a budget, it is so much easier because you don't want to spend your money. The next tip that I have before you can really get into being a pro at using cash envelopes is to have at least 3 months of a budget. I really recommend free budgeting apps like EveryDollar or Mint or Personal Capital. There are lots of apps out there that can help you set up and maintain a budget. Now, why would I recommend having a budget before using the cash envelope system? The reason is having a budget can be really hard at first to estimate how much money you're bringing in, especially if you're someone who's self-employed or you own a business, but then also to really estimate how much money that you actually spend every month. It changes month by month. If there's anything you can do aside from practicing using cash right now, it would be to practice with a budget. Don't even need to use cash. Just practice knowing how much money is coming in, how much money is going out, and also really recognizing how much money that you spend on things that you really don't need to spend on. Now, the 4th tip is to get everyone involved. Using cash can be a challenge, okay? Especially for if you have teenagers or your spouse really isn't interested in using cash because it can be a burden, right? But it is so important if you're going to be doing this to make sure that the rest of your family is involved and actively understands the purpose. Why would you want to use cash instead of card? Why is it that you're going through this? You need to make sure that your family is all on board. Now, the 5th tip and the last tip to have really ultimate success with your Dave Ramsey cash envelope system is to make sure that you're always motivated. Now, there are a handful of ways to stay motivated during this time, and it could be starting a YouTube channel, starting an Instagram for accountability, but it doesn't have to be that way. You could also just make sure that your family is really on board or simply follow other channels that are doing the cash envelope system. There are a ton, I could do a ton of channels who are just recording their experience paycheck by paycheck of using the cash envelope system. You'll see different budgeting binders, cash envelope binders. There's so much out there. And so it's just important to really involve yourself in this community so that you have that motivation when it gets difficult. Okay, you guys, if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe so that you can be a part of my budgeting series. This playlist of videos guides you from step A to step Z in regard to learning what a budget is, different ways to keep a budget, how to get free downloadable printables for your budget, all of it. So go subscribe right now. Thanks for watching.